We had a chance to talk with Haley Fatheree, who's one of the students from Effingham High School who will be exhibiting her work in the AHA Film Festival, which is coming up Saturday night, April 26th at the Effingham Performance Center. And we had a chance to talk with Haley regarding her work and how many works are you going to have in this year's show?
I have 4 different films in this year.
Wow. And I'm guessing a broad range of emotions involved?
Yes, I have 1 animation and then I have 3 other films. And I co-directed one with Maria Bullard. And one's a children's story and then the other ones are kind of jokey, and then there's also a serious one, so it definitely changes per movie.
Talk about the creative process as far as deciding what to include, what not to include. Talk about how these come together.
Well, at the beginning of the year, it's really a brainstorming process and trying to figure out what you want to put your time and your effort into. And the way I decided on what I want to do is just what I'm really passionate about. And my animation's about accepting for who you are and that you are good enough. And I think that's really important for not only kids to know, but also adults. And so I spent around 4 months working on my animation. So I hope everyone enjoys that.
Yeah. What do you hope to do with the knowledge you're acquiring and being a part of this class and the classes that are involved in this?
This class has taught me teamwork and working with adults a lot. Since I am helping co-direct the festival, I've been able to have to get out of my comfort zone and talk to several different businesses, and it's not always as easy as it seems, but it's really helping me for college and getting out there in the workforce.
Okay, so give me an idea why people should be there on the 26th.
Well, this is going to be our funniest festival yet in 10 years, and there's so many comedies, but even if you don't like comedies, there's actually a lot of different variety of stuff, and it's going to be a great show. We have around 32 films that are going to be in, and there's stuff for everyone there.
What do people need to do if they want a ticket?
They can either contact the high school at 540-1100, and we can get them out of the office, or you can contact a multimedia student and we'll sell them to you. They're $6.
Haley, I appreciate your time. Best of success.
Thank you.
We had a chance to talk with Chris Reed and with Aaron Meyers. They're working on what Mr. Fatheree called a comedy team effort. So I want to know, what are you going to do to make us laugh, guys?
We each have a few films in the festival that I guess you could consider comedies, and that's probably what he's getting that from. We each made a couple. Like, for example, I have one called Foosball. He has one, Banana-Tanic.
Banana-Tanic.
Even the names are good. Banana-Tanic.
They're just really goofy movies, and I mean, like, overall, the whole feel of the festival is kind of funny and goofy. Compared to like the old film fests, there's kind of a different feel. So
Not so much drama, lots more laughs.
basically,
I'd say a lot more laughs than drama. There's still some drama, but
Yeah.
a lot more laughs.
And I guess it depends on the artists, what you guys feel, right? What you want to do.
yeah, I mean, I'd rather make people laugh than depress them. I mean,
But making them think's not a bad thing either.
not too bad. No.
Yeah. So what's the premise for, what did you call it?
It's called Banana-Tanic.
I love the name.
It's pretty much a love. You know the Titanic. You know the plot behind the Titanic. It's a love story between a banana and a gorilla, and it's pretty interesting. It
It sounds pretty.
without spoiling too much, it's pretty. I don't even really know a word to describe it. It's kind of stupid, honestly, but it's pretty funny. So I'm looking forward to seeing that one there.
Stupid can be fun.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Now, foosball, we've all played foosball one time or another. So is this about the life of a foosball or what?
There's kind of just like a twist ending. It's 2 gentlemen and they're bored on an evening, and they don't have anything to do. Their TV goes out and they are left with nothing, but they realize they haven't played foosball in a while, and needless to say, their foosball table just kind of comes to life.
Whoa.
Yeah. So you'll see.
This sounds mysterious.
It's pretty mysterious.
Talk about the process of making a film. A lot of people haven't. So what goes on? Does it take, and talk a little bit about the time that's involved.
It can take months, actually. I mean, you start out with the writing process. You have to come up with an idea, first of all. and then after the idea, you get the script, and the script can take a while to work out, and you have to work out whatever you want and exactly what you want in your film, and then from there you get your set shot list, and you have your list of shots that you want to involve in your movie, and then you go out and shoot. And shooting is probably the quickest part. You might shoot for an hour or two, maybe 3 hours, but then editing is what takes the longest time. I've probably spent a month editing each of my films, so yeah. Editing is a really tedious process.
Kind of just depends on the inspiration you have on the project as well, because like one of my ideas, one of the movies I made was called Ginger's Attack, and I came up with the idea within just like a night, and then we filmed it the next like day and a half, and I edited it over the weekend. So, and that's a kind of a lengthy film. It ended up being like 5 or 6 minutes long. So it kind of just like depends on how focused and how inspired you are with your project, because I know for my other projects they all took way longer. So
I guess it's like any craft, like songwriting. I hear people say, yeah, I wrote it on the back of an envelope in 30 minutes. Or some people say, I agonized over this for months, coming up.
That's something to compare it to.
Yeah. So why should people come to the film? Why should they, or to the festival? Why should they be there?
I just think it'll be a great time. We have 30-some films in the festival, and they're all just really solid films. And it's nice to see the community come out and support us in this class and just let us show off our work for what all we've done this year.
Very good. Chris Reed, Aaron Meyers, thank you for the visit.
Yep. Thanks.
The AHA Film Festival is coming up on Saturday night, April 26th at the Effingham Performance Center, and over 30 works are going to be involved, and one of the people that has prepared a few of the things you're going to see is Zach Wilson, and we had a chance to visit with him during a class period at EHS. And Zach, tell us a little bit about what we might be seeing on the screen as you're telling us.
On the screen right now is a project we're working on where we are trying to make a comic book in our 3D animation software called Maya. It's actually one of the top leading animation softwares. Like a lot of industry majors do use this, such as I'm pretty sure like LucasArts uses it a lot. So Disney uses it a lot also. But the animation I made this year for the Film Fest is called Farm Trouble, which is a little quirky little take on a game called Minecraft, which it's like Legos. You just go around building things. There's really no point to the game except survive in the game. But this is a very interesting software to work with. It's very time consuming. I believe my animation in the Film Fest is roughly 2 minutes long with title and credits. The actual movie is roughly about 1 minute and 40 seconds. So it doesn't seem like that much, but it took me and Megan roughly about 3 months to make it. And I had a lot of missteps with the video. Didn't look very good when it came out. The lighting was wrong. It was a very hard process. It took a while though. I kept telling Mr. Fatheree, oh, it'd be done next week. Well, I ran into a few problems with the animation. I'm like, it's gonna be done next week. Roughly 2 months later, I finally give it to him. And I think I was the second to last film to get in the Film Fest behind Haley's film Time. That was the very last one because she had to wait for a rainy day. But it's a very interesting process. It's not like it's completely different like monster than filmmaking. Like with films, well, you have to get all your actors. And with this, I create my actors. I pretty much move them how I want them to move. I move all the lights around how I want, but it's a very time-consuming process where you just set up a camera, have someone just go by regular, and then you just have I have to program every single step. So there's some things like where it's much easier because no matter what, I tell them what to do. While in regular filmmaking, it's sort of up to how your actors want to be. So this has been a very interesting process.
Yeah. I know you've really enjoyed animation both years you've been in the program.
Yes.
What do you see that this has taught you besides how to do it?
Keeping the deadlines, even though you push them back every week, which I had to. It's really about self-motivation because really most of this I learned on my own. A good chunk of it, though, was from Mr. Huber, our art teacher, who I was with animation with. Everything else I had to learn online, like forums, YouTube, everything else. It's really taught me how to work by myself and work with people also, but it's mostly like you have to, I don't know how to really describe it. You're your own boss. So it's like you are doing what you need to get done.
How tough is it to see your work up on the big screen and you know you're going to be judged by your peers and adults and the community?
No offense, I look away whenever mine goes up there because I just don't. I look at the audience mostly because I want to see what their reaction is. I just don't like putting, like, it's just a me thing, but I think other people, it's just you don't like seeing your stuff on there. Like it's nice to get it up there, but you just don't want to see it up there. Like it's like you're putting a baby out in the world and it's gonna like eat it or something. That's a little extreme, but it's sort of how I feel with mine.
Why should people show up for the festival?
It will be a hoot if you want to put in. It's going to be it'll show all our work, which we put a lot of love and hard work into, and it's completely worth it. I think it should be more than $6, but tickets, well, it'll be very enjoyable. You'll feel like you just watched like a lot of films that should be like made into movies, but really they're only about 3 minutes long, and you'll enjoy them a lot.
Zach Wilson, thanks for the visit.
Thanks, Red.
We had a chance to talk with Joe Fatheree, who oversees the development of the AHA Film Festival as the instructor at Effingham High School in multimedia and a lot of other things. And the festival's coming up Saturday night, April 26th at the Effingham Performance Center. Tickets are $6. They're still available. And with a venue like that, we can accommodate a lot of people, so we'll look forward to seeing all of you there. Joe, talk a little bit about what a festival's involved for people that might not have been there in the past.
Well, we have 32, 33 films that our kids do, and basically the kids spend an entire year writing, learning their craft. You know, we live in the 21st century, which is a time of communication, and they're learning to push their stuff out on multiple platforms, and so they'll see a variety of different stories from a variety of different kids there. And so I think one of the students earlier talked about it's like getting to see 32 feature films that are just a little bit shorter. So it'll be a really fun night for everybody involved.
I know this is the 10th annual festival, so that has some certain import for someone like you who's been involved from the start.
My goodness, I sat out there the other day doing a test of all the footage, and I just want to thank Rich Jorn and the group out there for letting us have the venue. And I thought how lucky we are as a school district to have a facility like that. And it took me a little bit to sit there and just digest all of the work these kids have done. I mean, we've been to Paris and spoken in front of the United Nations. We've crashed trains into cars for Pacific, Operation Lifesaver. We've shot hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of films. And just to see the journey that we've been on, and when Craig Linval used to teach with me, I don't think either one of us ever dreamed that the class would grow to this level. And MediaCom gave us 800,000 TVs in the Midwest a few years ago to show our work on. So it's this volume of work in this wonderful little town we live in called Effingham, where people come out to celebrate student work. So that's just going to be a lot of fun.
The work that people will see somewhat reflects the personalities and emotions of the students, their likes and dislikes too.
Oh, boy, very much. Some years we have very serious topics. We have documentaries that are very pointed. And this year it's a yuck fest. If you like laughter, and it's been a very long winter with 40 and 50 below zero, and you're looking, my goodness, is the sun ever going to shine? You should come next Saturday night, because these kids have put together the most fun festival we've ever had. It's just a series of fun laughs, a lot of different comedic moments about a lot of different situations in life. And it does represent, I think, their take on life, where they're at. And, some kids want to tell really serious stories because they want to be taken seriously, and some people just like to see a smile wash across someone's face. So that's the fun about the class, I think.
And regardless of whether it's funny or serious or whatever, it takes the same amount of time.
Oh my goodness. You look at some of the animations where kids have 3-4 months in them, even some of the fictional pieces we have months at a time. I know there's a film called Time that, Haley was waiting 4 months for it to rain one day. She needed one shot of a raindrop falling, and it just took, we didn't know if we were going to get it before the festival, and that was all going to have to be cut out. So the students really buy into the work that they're doing. They spend a lot of time developing their craft. Like any student festival, there's bumps in the road, But I think that's also the magic of watching the shows, is you see the artist hands upon the film work, and it's not so pristine and clean that you forget that people are spending time honing their skills to develop their craft.
Yeah, students really experience what everybody else does in life, and this winter was a good example because here we are at the end of April with the festival, where it's been earlier in the school year other years, and that's mainly out of necessity.
Well, yeah, normally our festival is in March, and it was regional sectional time for boys and girls basketball, and we just weren't ready. It's a 2-hour class, and so we'd missed the equivalent of 18 school days because of snow. And 18 days in here is a ridiculous amount of time. And so we just decided we need to push it back. I talked to Rich out there. They love to have us back out there. We've got to have a great relationship with the EPC. And I just think it's a little bit in serendipity. We got a sunny festival for a sunny time in April right after Easter, so it'll be a good time for all.
If people want to get tickets, what should they do?
Well, I would definitely call 540-1100 at Effingham High School. They can direct you to come in and pick up tickets there at the office. Any of the media students have them, or you can get a hold of me. We just love to have everybody there. And I will tell you, as I travel around the country and talk to different schools, this is one of the few places I've seen where people stand up in line. Matter of fact, I was speaking up at Eastern a couple of weeks ago, and I said it's the only school I know where people come out in droves to celebrate student homework, and I think that's a special thing, and I hope to see a lot of people there.
And I know it's not necessarily a live event, but it's okay for people to laugh.
Oh my goodness, you should laugh. You should laugh at the things that just tickle your funny bone. It's okay to have a tear come out of your eye. That's what the kids wait for. We talk so much about standardized tests and academic achievement, and I spoke on this a couple of weeks ago, where I'm a huge advocate of measuring student success. But for us, it's when that laugh is supposed to come, does it? And that, to the student, that validates 3 or 4 months' work for them. So yes, by all means, laugh. Make sure to interact with the students, come up and shake their hands, tell them what you thought of their stories. And we are going to be launching our YouTube channel that night. And we have about 330, 340 films we've developed over the last 10 years. And we've decided it's time for them to come out of the vault. And we'll have a release schedule coming up every week, and so those old AHA classics will be out there for people to enjoy for a long time.
Well, that's good news for all of us who've been around the festival and around the students and you and Craig through the years. And I know one more thing I wanted to touch on is the fact that the students really are bearing their souls, to borrow a phrase. I know it's something you and Craig are familiar with from the movies you've released through the years. You really don't know how a work is going to be received until it's up there in front of the audience.
You don't, and it's, for a lot of people, you look at why students won't raise their hand in a class, or even as adults, we won't offer a suggestion. It's because we're concerned what somebody's going to think. And for most of these students, an idea is very private, and it's something that they're very passionate about, and so they hold it in their hands and they work on it for weeks, and in sometimes cases months, trying to develop that. And then it's like, that's my baby I'm showing on stage. And it is a very personal experience. And we talk to them about how you pull yourself out, that people have a right to laugh or cry or do whatever they want, but it's still hard to unmarry yourself from that idea. And I tell them that's the sweetest sound will be the laughter and the applause that they get from the audience that night. And we've never been turned down from that over the years. The audience has been wonderful. We'll be giving out awards that night, and one of the cool ones at the end of the festival is the People's Choice, where everybody gets a chance to vote for their favorite. So please hang around for that as well.
Very good. It's always a pleasure. Best of success.
Oh, thanks for the continued support over the year. We appreciate it.
That's Joe Fatheree, and again, the AHA Film Festival is coming up Saturday night, April 26th at the Effingham Performance Center. Tickets are $6. Give the high school a call at 540-1100 to make sure you have a seat.